In the end, I speak the name of the man I love. Harold, I love you. Even if there were a way to go back in time, I know I would choose the same path. Because despite the ending that's in store for me, I am happy.
Newheim, a small village surrounded by nature. There, a witch was executed by being burned at the stake. Just about a month has passed since that cruel and tragic event.
Hey, this is the symbol I made to mark my way. Shoot, where's the exit? After running my hand over the tree trunk, I crouched down. I guess the rumors were true. Once you go into the Hydra forest, you can never come back out alive. I pound my empty water bottle against the ground and hold my head in my hands when I hear footsteps coming my way. Is that a wild animal? No, it doesn't seem hostile enough. I immediately brace myself for a fight, but what appears from between the trees? An angel. Is a stunningly beautiful woman.
Fatigue weighs heavily on the face of the man leaning against a tree trunk. When I offer him my water, he noisily gulps it down. I find out that he's been traveling and has been wandering around lost for several days after entering the forest out of curiosity. As thanks for the water, the man tells me stories of his travels. I see. So you stopped by the village of Newheim before coming to the forest?
Yeah, all the villagers there treated me very kindly, even though I was a complete stranger. They shared not only a bed, but also precious food supplies. I was so touched, since I've never experienced such kindness before. So I asked the reason why. Everyone answered me the same way. They said that it was because it was the best way they could atone for what they had done.
What had they done?
Yeah, apparently before I came to the village, a witch named Tatiana was executed there. At the time, everyone thought this Tatiana was this cause of a plague that afflicted the village. So they killed her before there could be any more victims. But eventually the illness was curbed by the medicine Tatiana gave them, and the village was saved. They realized then that the person who spread the illness wouldn't have tried to save the village, but by that time, it was too late. The villagers were beside themselves with grief at the deplorable thing they'd done.
Oh, so the villagers were able to go back to how they always were.
Huh?
Even after what happened to me, I'm glad the villagers never lost their caring and loving spirit. Everything should be all right now. Even my one sole regret is gone. It's really over. Never mind. I'm sure that witch Tatiana is resting in peace now, because she must have really loved all those kind people. After saying goodbye to the man, I return to my small hut. I use a magic spell to keep anyone from coming near, then sit in front of the mirror at my dressing table. I'm used to it now, but it's still awfully inconvenient to not be able to see yourself in the mirror. Putting on makeup is a real challenge too. I remark as I reach out to touch the mirror. No matter how long I stare into it, my reflection never appears. But I do kind of like the fact that we're the same now.
Funny you should say that now. Who was it again? Who was blaming me that they'd never heard anything about not being able to see your reflection after becoming a vampire?
That was the very first day, though. I hear the creak of someone stepping on the floor, and at the same time, I'm gently embraced from behind. Hi, Harold.
Hey.
I give his hand crossed over my chest a squeeze, and he gives a quiet laugh.
What happened? You seem like you're in an awfully good mood.
Oh, do I? Well, actually, while you were gone, I met a traveler in the forest. He told me about how my village has been doing.
What?
Do you want to hear? As I tell Harold what happened from the man, I remember everything that happened in the village. That day when I was burned by the villagers, just as I was prepared to die, it was Harold who appeared before me. Unbeknownst to the villagers, Harold saved me from the fire and we faked my death. He brought me away on the verge of death, and then... just like I saw in my premonition before, the human Tatiana died. And after you took my blood, I was reborn as a vampire. If you hadn't come to my rescue, I would have died without ever getting to learn what's going on in the village now. I'm truly grateful to you for that.
But you did lose something. You can never go back to your village, nor to my castle.
I know.
We can't tell your family, or even Alfred and Rupert, that you're alive. The path awaiting you from now on is a thorny one, and I was the one who made it so. But I didn't want to lose you, even if that's what it took, since I knew that I could never love any woman more than I love you.
Me too. You mean too much to me to ever lose.
Tatiana,
I want to use this life you've given me to search for a way to bring humans and demons together. It won't be easy, but if a witch and a vampire can do it, I know it's possible someday.
yeah, I think so too.
Harold gives me a peck on the cheek, then gently picks me up.
There's plenty of time for that, and I'll help you. In exchange, for the rest of all time, I forbid you from ever leaving me.
This reminds me of when we first met. That time it was me who offered a contract of conditions to you, though.
I remember. So, what's your answer?
You already know my answer, don't you? It's yes, of course. I stand on my toes and kiss Harold on the lips. Then he gives me a long kiss in return.
I love you, Tatiana. I will love you, and only you, for all of eternity.
When Harold sets me down on the bed and climbs on top of me, I welcome his embrace. Even though my body should be much colder than it was when I was human. The places where we touch are unbearably hot. I'm so happy that I met you, Harold. I know that I'll never forget the smile he gave me in that moment, for as long as I live.